Namaste. The shipping crisis, initially triggered by the Red Sea crisis, has escalated into a significant logistical challenge. In my previous video, I outlined the origins of the crisis, including container shortage, capacity issues, congestion and vessel shortages, which have collectively driven up freight rates, inflation and cash flow problems for the shipping and logistic industries as well as manufacturing. These disruptions are now impacting the general public on a scale similar to the COVID-19 period. The crisis during COVID-19 pandemic began with a 20% surge in shipping volume to the US West Coast, leading to an extended disruption lasting about a year and a half. We are witnessing a similar pattern now with the Red Sea crisis, compounding surges in demand on specific trade lanes amplified by shortages in containers and vessels. In this latest episode of Logistically Speaking, I share with you an update on the current state of the shipping crisis, detailing the factors intensifying it and what to expect in the near future. The US administration has announced anti-dumping duties on 387 products from China, including electric vehicles, batteries and solar products, effective 1st of August. This has led to a spike in demand as buyers rush to import this product before the new duties take effect, avoiding an estimated $18 billion in additional cost. US and European importers tend to stockpile during supply chain disruptions. This has worsened by political pressures in Europe, where election years drive a desire to avoid shortages and showcase economic prosperity. Additionally, a genuine economic growth in South American and Mediterranean countries is contributing to increased buying. Typically, peak season for Christmas shopping imports begin in July and runs through October. However, the Red Sea crisis has prompted an earlier start to this period since importers wanted to cover the 2 to 3 weeks delay, causing logistical challenges, but the carriers were unprepared for this shift. Looking into the current global shipping conditions, mid-sized vessels, that is 12,000 to 18,000 TEUs, are being shifted from China to Asia routes to the high-revenue China-US trade lane. Since the US East Coast ports can handle vessels with maximum capacity of 12,000 to 14,000 TEUs only, and West Coast ports 14,000 to 18,000 TEUs capacity, the mega vessels, which is about 20,000 TEU capacity, cannot be redeployed in China-US trade. Since the right size vessels available are in China-Asia trade lane, this capacity is being redeployed in China-US trade lane by the carriers. However, this redeployment is creating capacity shortages and higher freight rates on other routes such as China Far East and Indian Ocean trade lane. This has a ripple effect. Freight rates have surged, with China to Europe rates breaching the mark of $20,000 per 40 feet container level and is expected to reach $30,000. Day charter rates for medium-sized vehicles have increased to $100,000 per day already, and with additional fuel cost of $1 million for longer routes via Cape of Good Hope, costs for the carrier have increased further upwards. The faster option to move urgent cargo has seen air freight demand increasing and pushing the rates up by 9 to 12%. Carriers are prioritizing high revenue routes, often at the expense of less profitable ones. Many carriers have already stopped their less revenue trade or has merged services to redeploy vessels to the high revenue trade lanes of China. Since the demand is high, even smaller vessels with 1500 to 2500 TEUs capacity is also being moved to these lucrative sectors. This shift is leading to capacity shortages and increased freight rates on short-haul routes like Middle East and intra-Asia trades. Due to the additional capacity available in Chinese ports, these ad hoc vessels can be accommodated at load ports. However, accommodating more number of vessels can be tricky for destination ports in US, which is already experiencing congestion, labor laws which restrict working hours of port staff, and also expected labor strikes. Chinese manufacturers have expanded to countries like Vietnam and Cambodia to bypass trade barriers. The surge in US and Western demand has caused congestion in these countries, increasing demand for mid-sized vessels that are suitable for these trades. Container shortages have worsened, with empties piling up in transshipment ports, western ports, and even onboard ships due to congestion and delays. The omission and delays in major ports has also resulted in empties and transshipment containers being offloaded in alternate smaller ports where they will get delayed to reach the final destination ports, or for empties to reach where they are needed. This has led to increased prices for new containers and supply delay of 3 to 4 months instead of normal 30 days for new orders. Various factors are contributing to vessel shortages, including longer routes via Cape of Good Hope of 2 weeks, port congestion in all major ports, and delayed berthing schedules. In order to maintain a weekly schedule, the carriers have to add 3 to 4 additional vessels in each service schedule to cover the extended voyage, which unfortunately is not possible due to non-availability of ships. Carriers are unable to maintain weekly schedules with less number of vessels required, leading to blank sailings. Major ports worldwide are experiencing severe congestion. For instance, Singapore's congestion have increased from 7 to 10 days. This results in carriers offloading containers at nearby port, further complicating the logistic chain. Potential strikes at US East and Gulf Coast ports starting October 1st are a significant concern. The logistic industry is preemptively importing holiday goods to avoid disruptions. Well, the experts predict that this crisis will persist for another 4 to 6 months, potentially extending to the 2025 Chinese New Year. The anticipated delivery of new ships in the second half of the year, totaling to approximately 3 million TEUs, including the mega vessels which can carry more than 22,000 TEUs, may alleviate some pressure. Additionally, a potential softening of US demand in Q4 could help normalize supply and demand. However, the unpredictable nature of crisis means it could extend longer, impacting working capital requirement and causing inflation that will eventually be passed on to consumers. The Egyptian economy, heavily reliant on Suez Canal fees, would also suffer due to prolonged disruption. Well, thank you for watching. Please share this with your colleagues in logistics, import and export sectors who are affected by this crisis. Your comments and viewpoints are welcome. See you next time.